16. Now, there's several steps that I got you to write down yesterday. What is step 1? Yeah, I got you to write down the steps.
Get one letter on its own.
Get one letter on its own using the linear equation. The linear equation is the one that has no x squareds in it. The quadratic is the one that has the x squareds. Which letter do I get on my own? Well, I think I'll move the y over the other side. And I'll get x equals 1 plus y. Everybody happy with that?
Can you use x as well?
To use x, I would have had to transfer, I would have got minus y equals 1 minus x. I don't want minus y, I want plus y.
Yeah.
Then I can multiply both sides by minus. I would have got minus 1 plus x, or y equals x minus 1. Okay? You can see that was a lot more hassle. I can use either one of these, I'll get the same answers. Now, the one I'm going to stick with is the 1 plus y. What do we replace x with in this equation?
1 plus y.
I replace x with 1 plus y squared plus y squared equals 25. Now guys, we've already done these a couple of times today. 1 plus y squared is 1 plus y multiplied by 1 plus y. Nick, this one?
1 by 1.
1
Plus 1y.
1y.
Plus 1y.
Plus 1y. Plus y by y. Y squared. Okay. Now y plus y. 2y. So it's going to be 1 plus 2y plus y squared plus another y squared. And once you bring that 25 over to your side, minus 25. Now guys, you guys are good at these, okay? So what we can do here is 2 ways, okay? The first thing you do is add the y squareds together, and what you get?
2y squared.
2y squared. Then you have 2y in the middle. Now what's minus 25 plus 1?
Minus 24.
Stop. Okay? Minus 24. Now guys, you can do 2 things. You can do the long reference number. Remember, and you'll get a reference number of minus 48. That's a type 2, isn't it, Mick? Do you have a question?
Why is that 25 became 24?
See the 1 here?
Yeah.
And the minus 25 here? It's 1 minus 25. That gets minus 24. It's a good question. Now guys, we have 2 options. We can do a reference number with minus 48 and do the long type 2. Or, see the way they're all divisible by 2?
Yeah.
And you see the way there's an equal sign here?
Yeah.
You could also do this. Y squared plus 1y minus 12 equals 0. If you do it the long reference number way, no problem. If you do it this way, no problem. Now, what's the reference number for the short one?
Minus 12.
Now, the great thing about the short one is you can just go straight into the brackets. Now, what 2 numbers multiply to give you 12?
Plus 4 and minus 3.
So it's going to be plus 4 and minus 3. We're going to get y plus 4 equals 0. Y equals minus 4. Y minus 3 equals 0. Y equals 3. Now, once you do that, what happens next is you go back up to your original equation. And our original equation is x, well, x minus y equals 1 is our original equation. But we already modified that to say x equals 1 plus y. So all I have to do now is replace in the y values. So it's going to be 1 plus 3. So x equals 4. And it's also going to be 1 plus minus 4. What's 1 plus minus 4?
Minus 3.
It's minus 3. So there's your 2 x values, 4 and minus 3. And for y it's minus 4 and 3. Okay guys, so is number 18. Now guys, 18, okay? You have a choice which letter you want to get on its own. If I bring the 2y over to your side, you're going to get x equals 2y. Now here's the problem, right? That one's done. It's easy for you, isn't it? Now what if you wanted to get y on its own? You'd have to divide down the 2. And y equals x over 2. You haven't made a mistake. But what you've done is you've introduced a fraction. And if you can avoid introducing a fraction, and as it turns out at ordinary level maths, you can always avoid using a fraction. So you'll always have a choice, option A or option B. Never take the fraction option. Okay? So what we're going to do there is we're going to get rid of the option B, no longer an option. Now once that's settled, we go to the second equation. And what do you do with the second equation? You replace x with
2y.
2y squared. Okay? Now guys, there's a big difference. Can anybody explain to me the difference between this here and this here? There's actually a huge difference.
But
bracket multiplying.
Brackets multiplying, Dennis.
the thing with the brackets is 2 times.
So it's 2y by 2y, which is 4y squared. Big difference between the brackets and the other one. It's twice its value.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's 4y squared plus y squared equals 20. Now guys, this one can be done two different ways, okay? You do it like this. Add them together, you get 5y squared equals 20. Divide by 5.
Yeah, y squared is 4.
Y squared equals 4. Now guys, this is none of your types, is it?
No.
No.
None of your types. So there's two ways of doing it.
Y squared equals 2 squared.
You can say it's the square root sign, okay? Now most people will do this. They'll go, look, y is the square root of 4. Because root 4 tells you what number multiplies by itself to give you 4. The answer is going to be plus or minus 2. Now, if we do what we're taught, and what we're taught is the 4 types. If we bring the 4 over the other side, what happens now?
So that's the difference of 2 squared.
That is type 3, the difference of 2 squared. And we say it's y squared minus 2 squared, which is y plus 2. Y minus 2 equals 0. And then you have your two answers, don't you? Y equals 2 and y equals minus 2. Okay? Now, once you've got to that stage, what you got to do next is you've got to figure out what your x value is. Now, what is the x value according to this equation?
2y.
It's multiply the y value by 2. So x equals two values equals 2 times 2 or 2 times, and that will be 4 and. So x equals 2 and x equals x equals 4 and minus 4. Okay. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to look at some of the one of the harder questions would be the likes of 22 or 23. So what I'll do is I'll do 22, which is now. Okay. Now lads, 22. Sorry? Yeah. Lads.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 22. X equals 3 minus y. Replace x with 3 minus y. It's 3 minus y squared minus y squared plus 3. Now guys, 3 minus y with 3 minus y will get you 9.
Do you know what to say at the end of that? 0.
Oh, equals 0, do indeed that. 3 times that is minus 3y. Minus another 3y. Minus y by minus y.
Is there not 7 or 9?
Which one? It's a 9.
9.
Yes, Sean?
I thought you replaced y squared with 3 minus y squared, which is 9.
No, look, it says it here. X is 3 minus y. So replace x with 3 minus y.
Oh, okay.
Now, so we would have got, there's a minus 6y there, so it's going to be 9 minus 6y plus y squared minus y squared plus 3. Now, unlike your previous questions,
Got locked out
the y squared and the minus y squared cancel. Okay? Now lads, we're going to get it here is we're going to get 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 minus 6y equals 0. You can bring over the 12 if you want. We get minus 6y equals minus 12. And then y therefore is minus 12 over minus 6, which is 2. If that equals 2. If y equals 2, then x is equal to 3 minus 2, because 3 minus y, x will equal to 1. Okay guys, so, alright, in the same like